And welcome, this is ballerscuba with an update video. It has been a long time since I have done an update video, so I have quite a few things that I did want to talk about. For those of you that see the length of this video and are scared by it, I want to assure you right now that it's nothing all that major. There's just a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. So if you came here thinking that I'm canceling a Let's Play or I'm giving a big revelation about me personally or I'm stopping doing this altogether, I want to assure you right now, nothing like that is going on. Absolutely not. I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the channel as a whole, my views on YouTube, other channels, what has been going on the channel, what will be going on the channel, things like that. And I feel that this time there's a lot of things that I want to say. So as a result, I'm not going to do a face cam for this because I will be talking for an extended period of time. Obviously, I don't know how long it's going to take just yet, but because I feel like it is going to take a long amount of time, I have included gameplay footage in the background, muted, and it is gameplay footage that I don't know what it is just yet. I have a couple different sets of things that I feel could go back there, and depending on the length of how long I want to talk, you could see all of it. But I did want to include some gameplay for those of you that wanted something to look at while I'm just kind of talking, and I didn't think my face was really going to keep you entertained for however long this goes. But lots of things that I wanted to talk about. Number one, I wanted to talk about fan interaction. I'll just kind of label it like that. That means likes and comments and subscriptions. I thank each and every one of you that have subscribed to my channel. I am still gaining subscribers, and I am proud to say that I am. It's not necessarily as fast as other people, but that's fine. I'm just happy to have people out there that do like my content, because after all, that's what I want to do. I don't really care about the money, although money would be nice. I really just care that there are people out there that do enjoy the videos, and really at the end of the day, my job is to entertain people with this gameplay footage, and that's really all that I'm trying to do. So thank you to all the people that have subscribed. Thank you to all the people that do leave likes on my videos. It does make me feel good. Thank you to all the people that have commented on my videos. I am capable of reading all of those, and I do read all of them that YouTube at least tells me exist. There have been a couple cases where I would see a comment and YouTube never told me about it. I do try to respond to all comments. There are a few here and there that I'm not entirely sure exactly how to respond to it, so I don't. But I do read all comments. Like I said, every once in a while there'll be one that I did not see, but everything that I see I read, obviously. But there are a lot of channels out there that will ask for comments and likes and subscriptions. I do not ask for those things, and that is on purpose. Some people say that's because I'm trying not to advertise my channel. That's not the way that I look at it. The way that I look at it is that asking for comments and likes and subscriptions is asking you guys to advertise my channel, and that seems very weird to me, so I try to stay away from that, and that's the reason why I stay away from that. It puts me in an awkward situation with you guys, where at the end of my video, I ask you guys to advertise my video. Tell your friends about what just happened here and how much you enjoyed it. It's weird. So I don't do it. For those of you that are a little unaware of how YouTube's mechanics work, basically, if you like my video, which is the same as a thumbs up, I hear it both ways, so I've just become accustomed to saying liked, even though that's a Facebook term. If you give a thumbs up on my video, it tells everybody that follows you that you did it. So if they were to go onto your channel, they would see all the videos that you liked. and my video would be listed there along with everything else. So at the end of the day, it would be posting a link to my video on your web page, so to speak. And as long as you have an account with YouTube, you have a web page on YouTube, whether you know it or not. It's there. Same with comments. If you leave a comment, then it will put a link to your comment and a link to my video with the comment. So if people were to go onto your channel, they would see the comment, click on the video, and then they'd watch my video. I do not get paid for comments or likes. Now, I know I'm not really supposed to talk about money and how much I'm making on YouTube, but I'm going to at least a little bit. I will tell you now, though, that I make money only when you click on an ad. That's the only time that I make money on YouTube. I do monetize my videos. I do make money on YouTube, but it's not a substantial amount by any means. I spend more on games for the channel than I make in money off the channel. I know I'm not really supposed to give amounts, but if this was a business, I would close it. I'd go bankrupt. But I'm not in this for money. I'm just in this to entertain people. And as long as you enjoy the videos, then I'm happy. And that's all that I really wanted. On top of that, though, I don't feel comfortable asking you guys to click ads or anything like that. If you guys want to click the ad, you see something that you like, feel free. You know, I'm not going to stop you, but I'm not going to ask you guys to do that. And honestly, I think it might be a breach of contract for me to ask you guys to click on ads or anything like that. But at the same point, when people ask you to leave a comment or a like and subscribe, they're asking you to advertise their channel. Well, except for subscription. Although subscription also leaves a link to my channel page should you subscribe to me. So it is another form of advertising, but I don't make money based on how many subscribers I have right now. They do leave me a link kind of hinting that I could in the future, but not right now. All I get is clicks on ads. So when people kind of ask you to do that, it's a little weird. So I try to stay away from all that. I used to do it at the end of a long Let's Play. I think I did at the end of Fallout 3 and some of the early Final Fantasies, where I would do this long Let's Play, and then at the end I would ask for likes and comments. I'm not asking for those now. I don't feel comfortable doing that anymore. And I felt a little bit more comfortable back then. But the more that I think about it, the less comfortable I feel about asking for those things. So that's why I don't do it. I know some people kind of say that I am refusing to advertise my channel as a result. That's not the way that I look at it. I'm asking favors of people who just enjoy my content, at least on some level. But with that said, I don't want you guys scared to leave likes or comments. I'm just not going to ask you guys to do it. Once again, I read all comments as long as YouTube tells me about it, which is probably true about 95% of the time that they'll let me know about a comment. Maybe it's a little higher than that, but as long as YouTube tells me about it, I will read the comment. I will. That goes also for private messages and channel comments. Any way that you guys reach me or try to reach me, I will definitely see it. In terms of private messages and channel comments, well, at least private messages, I do respond to all private messages. Feel free to private message me whenever you want. I'm kind of always here. I'm not necessarily always on a computer. Sometimes I'm at work, so it might take me till the end of the day, maybe a couple days if I'm a little busy to respond, but I will respond to all private messages. With that said, I do want to talk about other ways that you could reach me. A couple of things that I've been thinking about is becoming more active on Twitter. I do have a Twitter account, but I haven't done anything with it, literally anything. I think I signed up once when there was a power outage and I was kind of bored on my phone, signed up for Twitter and followed a couple people. That was pretty much it. I haven't done anything on Twitter. I'm thinking about becoming more active on Twitter so that there's another way for you guys to reach out to me in kind of a public forum as opposed to private messages and emails and things like that. I am looking at Google Plus maybe a little bit. It's not bad. It's just that there's nobody on it. I do know a couple people right now are following me on Google Plus simply because that's what it tells me they're doing. Apparently, they're finding me through Google Plus, and if that's a way that they want to reach me, that works, I guess. I have no idea how to work Google Plus, though. With that said, though, I do not want to go on Facebook. There's just something about it that kind of drives me away from it. It's not really a place that I think that would work for me in trying to communicate with you guys. So for now, I'm thinking Twitter, maybe Google Plus. I do have like a FormSpring account, but really any question you guys want to ask of me, I'm almost always open to answers to give to you guys. So any way you want to contact me, if you have any questions, I will answer it. On top of that, if you guys want to add me on Steam, feel free. It's not hard to find my name. I'm pretty much the only one. There is nobody else, as far as I know, impersonating ballerscuba out there on Steam. There was a guy on League of Legends. That was a little weird. But I ended up talking to the guy, and it turns out he was impersonating me as a joke or something like that. Either way, if you guys want to reach me on Steam, that's a good way to reach me. Speaking of reaching on Steam, I'm thinking about doing something in the future that I have not really done in the past, and that is just random gaming with people that are fans of me on my channel. Just going online probably on Sunday afternoons, because right now that's really the only time that I have available, and just playing a game. No recording, nothing like that, just going on and playing Team Fortress 2 or something. And I would probably announce that kind of stuff on Twitter, and then you guys could find me on Steam and we could play together. You can also add me on Battle.net and League of Legends. If I'm playing a game, about 90% chance that it's going to be on one of those, unless it's actually something for the channel. Of course, you guys can't really see when I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII or anything else that's really done on an emulator. But if you guys want to add me on Steam, you can find out whenever I'm playing something. You can kind of look through my extensive library that kind of depresses me when I look at it. I have so many games that I'm looking forward to doing and seemingly so little time to get through them. But if you guys look at that, you can kind of see what I'm kind of looking at doing in the future, because it will be in my Steam library most likely, especially when it comes to the newer games. Those are typically in my Steam library where I get those, especially the shorter games. So those are the things that I'm thinking about doing in terms of, just random gaming, not necessarily for the channel, just going on and having fun. If you guys want to talk to me, that's fine, but I'm kind of picturing doing Team Fortress 2, no voice and stuff like that. But, maybe we get into a call somehow and we just, play for an hour or so. That's just something that I was thinking about. Buttercrust actually suggested that a while ago, and as I've gone for along, it sounds like better and better of an idea. But as of right now, this will probably go up on Sunday. I probably won't have time today. I still have quite a bit to do around the house and around work and all that kind of stuff that I will have to make up on Sunday. But that is something that I am considering doing in the future, and I think that League of Legends and Battle.net are a couple of things that I'm kind of looking at right now. I'm actually enjoying League of Legends quite a bit, and I've been practicing a little bit. Buttercrust is actually doing very well in League, and he's kind of helping me sort out what exactly it is I need to focus on and what I need to practice with. he's actually amazed that I'm still playing after encountering that initial learning curve. Okay, anyway, that's something that I am considering doing. If you guys want to add me, it's not like I'm one of those people that doesn't want to be bothered. I do respond to all messages on Steam and Skype and all that kind of stuff. If you guys are online, feel free to reach out to me. I do, however, have a job. You know, this is my hobby. I have a full-time job that pays all the bills right now. If you guys somehow got me so popular, once again by advertising my channel, which is weird for me to say, but if somehow I got so popular that this did become my full-time job, I'd be on my computer more, definitely. But as it stands right now, I gotta go into an office. I have to take care of all these things on the computer. So sometimes I'm on the computer, but I just don't have time to talk to people because I'm too busy doing other things. With that said, though, feel free to add me, leave me messages if you happen to see me online and all that kind of stuff. I will do my best to answer everything that you say to me. That's kind of always been my standard. I don't try to leave people hanging. I just try my best to answer everything that comes my way. With that said, though, there are a few things more that I wanted to talk about. There is the kind of philosophy that I have on selecting games. Now, I do things probably pretty different than other channels. For those of you that haven't been wandering around my channel page for whatever reason, there's a page on there called About, and that's where I tried my best to explain what it is that I'm trying to do with the games. I have pretty much 4 slots. The way that it works right now, I have 4 main slots. I have 4 main Let's Plays going on at any given time. I separate them into old and new and long and short, right? So that makes 4: old, short, old, long, and new, short. As it stands right now, well, I think I just finished Escape from Monkey Island, so that was the old short one. I have already set on what I'm going to do next. That is going to be Metroid, the original Metroid on the Nintendo. I'm hoping that it works out very well. I have not had that much experience with that game, but I'm hoping to be able to go through it and do well with it. Then we have the old long, which is Final Fantasy VIII, the new long, which is Fallout New Vegas, and the new short, which I have already recorded the ending for, which is... I don't even know how to start the name of this thing anymore. It's Penny Arcade Adventures on the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness, Episode 1. That is way too long of a name. So I kind of shortened it. I think I call it Precipice of Darkness in the title of the videos. But that was the new short one. I think I have actually decided which one will be following that. After that is done, I'll be moving on to Portal 2. Hopefully that'll work out well, and I can find no problems with that one. I have been encountering a lot of technical difficulties lately, especially when it comes to Escape from Monkey Island. I try my best not to let technical difficulties get to me, but Escape from Monkey Island, there was definitely one point for probably a good 5-10 seconds where I considered deleting the entire Let's Play that had already been uploaded, stopping Escape from Monkey Island, and just doing another game. Like I said, about 5 to 10 seconds. Then I decided that was very stupid, and of course I will finish everything that I start. That's just the way that I kind of think about things. If I tell you guys I'm going to finish it, and if it starts with the words Let's Play, that means I'm finishing it. You know what I mean? I hold my Let's Plays on a different level than I hold the rest of my videos. But the game gave me so many difficulties as I was going through it. The first difficulty, of course, was the control scheme, but I grew accustomed to that. I was able to manipulate it so that I could make it work, but then I was having flat-out graphical glitches. I couldn't record cutscenes. Guybrush would freeze. The game would just decide I don't feel like working today. I would lose footage. I probably did about twice as much work as you guys saw. I tried to record probably twice as much as actually went up. I would routinely just lose things. And there was one point where I figured out that, hey, I didn't record that one cutscene, and it caused this massive amount of desync on the video. I do apologize again for that. I didn't notice it until it was far too late for me to do anything about it. I figured out, hey, there's no cutscenes being recorded, but when I was trying to figure out how to solve it, and I was having so much difficulty, that was the point where I thought for a minute that, well, not a minute, but, you know, the 5 to 10 seconds that, you know, screw it, just delete everything and pretend like this never happened. But I was finally able to fix it, and I was able to get through it. And I've always thought, as I was playing on the channel, playing anything for the channel, that there were only a couple things that could get me to stop doing the channel. Number one, for whatever reason, I don't have time to do it anymore. That's probably still the most likely thing that will stop me, is some point way in the future, I just don't have the time for it anymore. Of course, I'd slow down before I stopped altogether, but if that was the case, that is something that could stop the channel, but it's not happening anytime soon. And the other thing is, you know, YouTube just suddenly decides we're not doing Let's Plays anymore. And then all my videos get deleted, and there's nothing I can do. There's nowhere else that I can post these videos that will accept it. I've tried. I went to other places when Fallout New Vegas Part 1 just wouldn't play for people in other countries. I tried, I think, 4 or 5 other video sites, and not a single one of them would accept the footage. Now, I didn't try it for Twitch. Honestly, I spent about a half hour, 45 minutes trying to figure out how to upload existing footage to Twitch, and I couldn't figure it out. So I decided against it. For those of you that still can't see the footage, I apologize. You'll have to go through a proxy of some kind. That's the only way that I can figure it out. Feel free to just Google search free proxy, and you'll find a way to view internet pages through a proxy, and then most likely you'll be able to view the footage that way. And I hate kind of telling people to do this large workaround in order to view my content, but in that case it got claimed by a music company, and the music company doesn't give a shit that they put their music in a video game and I'm playing the video game. They think that I am trying to steal their music, and they're going to take the money for it. I do have quite a few copyright claims on my channel, just as a whole. I mean, I have over 3,000 videos. Of course, I have copyright claims on my channel. A lot of people confuse the words copyright claims and copyright strikes. I do not have any copyright strikes. If I did, it would be a huge deal. I have copyright claims. Now, claims work differently than strikes, obviously. Claims means that the ad revenue coming off that video is no longer going to me. That's what a copyright claim is. So, for instance, Ubisoft claimed my entire Assassin's Creed 1 Let's Play, and I'm slowly disputing those claims and getting the rights to my own videos back. But as of right now, if you were to go on probably Assassin's Creed Part 10 and click on the ad, Ubisoft is getting that money, not me. So that's okay with me, but Ubisoft has made many claims in the past that they are willing to allow me as a Let's Player to make money off their video game content. So I'm disputing it, and I should be able to get the money back. Ubisoft is okay when it comes to that. They throw out massive amounts of claims, say that it's fine, and they actually told me on multiple occasions that they were going to remove the copyright claims, and then they never did. So I'm doing them one by one and hoping for the best. They're one of the ones that's kind of okay with it. Every developer, of course, is different. Nintendo right now being amongst the worst. Nintendo will claim your content and take a percentage of your money, which I guess is better than nothing. But considering other developers out there are willing to give you everything and actually will pay you to do videos on their content, which is a little strange, and I'll go more into that later. Not that I've ever done that, just for the record, but that's, a thing on my channel, and I do make money on the channel, but as a whole, I lose money for the channel. I spend more on games and equipment than I get off the channel, even if you don't include labor, right? If you don't include the time that I spend making the videos, I'm losing money. But once again, it's not about the money for me. It's always been about just trying to bring entertainment to people. And that's always been my goal. And hopefully I'm meeting it at some point, at some small criteria. I'm bringing a little bit of entertainment to people's lives. That's really what this is all about. Oh, good God, this is going on a lot longer than I thought it would. Okay, so that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. But when it comes to game selection, this is really the main reason that I made this video, is I wanted to talk about this. Game selection is something that I take really seriously for my channel. It's something that I do think about for days and weeks at a time. And at the end of the day, it comes down to just kind of what sounds good the day that I start it. Sometimes when it comes to my random videos, that is what ends up happening. The random stuff, the drunken stuff, although the drunken stuff I don't think is getting the attention that it should be getting. I'm loving what I do with the drunken stuff, and then it doesn't seem to be getting the attention. I think my commentary is usually pretty good. I try to play pretty bad games on drunkenly playing, and I think that my reactions, because I'm drunk, are pretty good, but it doesn't seem like people are that interested in it, which is a little sad. I might end up having to stop that, but for now, I'm going to keep going with it. With the random games as well, it's really just kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. What sounds good? What do I think I can do right then and there? But when it comes to the Let's Plays, those are things that I spend a long time trying to figure out which games I want to do and which games I don't want to do. Sometimes it ends up going to a vote because I can't decide between these 5 to 10 games. There are many times when I have done a vote video and I get a clean sweep sometimes. I think it was Bastion that got, I think it was around 10 votes, and then every other game in that video only got 1 vote. And so I was ecstatic. Everybody wanted to see Bastion. But then it was kind of weird, Bastion. When I went to upload Bastion, it didn't seem like a very popular video for me, or a very popular Let's Play for me. I do try to keep track of the popularity of certain Let's Plays so that I can gauge a little bit better what it is you guys want to see in the future. So that's one of the reasons why I do the vote videos, is that I want to give you guys a chance to have some kind of input on what it is that I play. I do take suggestions. I don't always do all the suggestions that I get. Most of the suggestions that I've gotten, I have not done, and I apologize that I haven't been able to get to a lot of the suggestions that I have. There's so many of them that I want to do. Just off the top of my head, Crash Bandicoot series, Banjo-Kazooie. I don't think I've gotten any requests for Banjo-Tooie, but Banjo-Kazooie definitely. Parasite Eve, Persona, Phantasy Star, some of the later Dragon Quests, some of the later Final Fantasies, even though I'm clearly going that path in Final Fantasy. I do get requests for Minecraft. That's probably the one thing that I'm looking at as something that I'm probably not going to be doing. Not necessarily because it is a bad game. I don't think Minecraft is a bad game at all. It's just that I don't have it, number one. And number two, for me to start it now seems way too late, and I don't think anybody's particularly interested in watching me struggle through vanilla Minecraft, especially since I do have a good idea of what it is that I'm doing. I've seen so many Minecraft Let's Plays and Minecraft videos. I've probably seen more of Minecraft than I've seen of any other game. So I understand what is going on. I don't know how to do everything, especially when it comes to the controls. But really, at the end of the day, I don't think that people watching me do Minecraft is going to be entertaining. And that's why I don't do any Minecraft. That's the one thing that I'm just flat out, no, I'm not going to be doing that. However, if there was a big group that wanted me to join their group in Minecraft, and they were doing videos on their series already, and they just wanted to add me to a series, maybe I'll do it. Maybe, but definitely no solo Minecraft from me. That's one thing that I will draw the line on. When it comes to suggestions, though, there are so many. I simply don't have time to do all of them. Those were just the popular ones that I mentioned. Those were the ones that I've received from multiple people want me to do that. And one of my problems with that is that I like to do things in order. It's almost a compulsive desire from me. It's definitely not something that other people have. A lot of times I have this desire to do things in the order that they came out. For instance, Banjo-Kazooie and Crash Bandicoot. Those are two fantastic platforming games, except for maybe Crash Bandicoot 1 and that camera. I remember that camera. But Banjo-Kazooie kind of has problems with the camera too. But those are great platforming games, right? And I would love to do them, but for me, I wouldn't feel right doing Banjo-Kazooie and Crash Bandicoot without doing Mario and Sonic first. Does that make sense? Maybe it's just me, but I would want to do those games and lead up to the kind of 3D platformers by doing the classics first. That's kind of the way that I think about things. And I know I haven't always done that, right? I did StarCraft 2 and Fallout 3 before I did any of the earlier games in the series, StarCraft 1, Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics. I do plan on doing both of those games, but the reason that I did those is mostly because that's what I had available. And I didn't have StarCraft 1 on hand. I am still in need of getting StarCraft 1. I don't know where my copy is, but I'm going to need another copy in order to play that. And then I did get Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics. And I'm not sure that I'm going to have time to do all of those. But that does bring me to the thing that I actually wanted to talk about. I ramble on like you wouldn't believe, don't I? The thing that I wanted to talk about is, because I do have so many games that I want to do, it saddens me how many games that I want to do. It overwhelms me at times. Just to give like a number, just an estimate, I probably have around 1,000 games on my computer right now that I am considering playing, or I at least want to do at some point. And I do narrow those down to, 5 games for vote videos and stuff like that. But really, I have so many that there's just not going to be time for me to do all of them in Let's Play form. So I need to find another form to get through these, because I do want to get through at least a couple hundred of them. I don't know how long that's going to take me to do, but I want to at least do something with these games. You saw right now that I have done Ghosts and Goblins. That was definitely a game on the list, and it's on an arcade. I thought I could get through it rather quickly. I was wrong. So we got 2 videos out of the session, and I struggled quite quite a bit, and I'll probably have to change the format into one of these other formats that I'm about to list out for you right now. There are basically two things that I am thinking about doing, and I'm not sure how you guys feel about either one of these things. They're going to take a lot of time for me to do. They're going to require a lot of time investment in order for me to get these done. So they're not going to be done quickly by any means, but they should be done faster than a normal Let's Play would be done on my channel. The two things that I'm thinking of are reviews, just flat out a review. There's lots of people that do reviews. It's a pretty standard format, and I would like to be able to do certain games in a review. With that said, it would most likely be batch reviews. It would not be a 12-minute video on a single game, most likely, unless the game is large enough to constitute a 12-minute video. But what I'm thinking about is batch reviews, and I would do groups of games together as a set. Games sometimes in a series or a franchise. Something that would be good for reviews, I think, would be like the Bomberman series, right? The early Bomberman games, I want to do something with. Those are good games from what I remember. Some of them are better than others. So I would like to do all of the original Bomberman games. I don't even know how many there are. I haven't bothered counting off the top of my head, but it's probably about eight Bomberman games, give or take. So that would take me probably, I don't know, probably 6 videos for each Bomberman game, 48 videos. I'd probably upload those 3 a week. That'd be 16 videos, 16 weeks, which is 4 months. That's a lot of Bomberman. And I think it would be easier for me if I just went through the game, found some footage, and started doing reviews on them. And I think that would work out a lot faster. I think it would work better. It wouldn't eat up so much airtime on my channel. So that's one thing that I am thinking about doing. For the reviews, though, I do want to mention right now that I would not be using a number system. I would be using a recommendation system. I've kind of moved away from numbers. I've never really liked numbers because the numbers mean different things for different people. I was actually talking to Luke back when we were both kind of starting out, and he was kind of going over what I rated things versus what he rated things. Sometimes we did the same game, and we would talk about the difference between our two numbers, and we found out that we had a different scale entirely. For me, I looked at an average game being a 7. For him, he looked at an average game being a 5. And for me, I was going off of, school grade system. And that's the way I think about it. An average game is around a 70%. But he was looking at it, average is 5. That's halfway through the scale. His probably makes more sense, but if I were to say an average game is a 5, there's going to be a percentage of the population that thinks just like I do now, that means that's a terrible game, right? That a 5 is a terrible game. It's not a good game at all. So that's why I'm kind of wanting to move away from numbers, and I've been doing that slowly. I want now to just give recommendations. Who should play this game and why, and how are individual parts of it, without resorting to numbers, because a lot of times when you watch a review, you just want the number and then that's it. So that's what I would do for reviews. They would be heavily edited. I would most likely script them. I wouldn't have any commentary during the gameplay. It would be entirely the gameplay and then a script. Something similar to what I'm doing now, right? The gameplay is in the back and I'm just talking over it. Of course, it would be much more organized than what is going on right now when I have absolutely no idea what is going on in the background here. I'm just talking into a microphone and watching the levels right now. But the second thing that I was thinking about doing on top of the reviews, right? I think reviews would work great for something like Bomberman, licensed games, games that came from movies or Disney or something like that. But I don't think that will work for a lot of other games that I think would be too time consuming to go through the Let's Play format that I normally do, but I still want to do something with. So the other thing that I was thinking about doing was Let's Play highlights. And how that would work would be very similar to what Buttercrust and I were doing with Diablo 3. I would sit there and I would record for however long, an hour and a half or whatever. That's kind of my standard, right? And I would edit that footage down to maybe 2 or 3 videos that just showed some of the best moments and some of the plot essential parts of the games, and we would upload those instead of the entire Let's Play as a whole. And that will cut down on airtime. It won't cut down on my time to go through it, but it will cut down on the airtime on the channel. And I think that would work for a lot of different games. In particular, the one that I was thinking about right now was the Mega Man franchise, because the Mega Man franchise is huge. As I was looking at all the Mega Man games, I realized that there are just way too many for me to do Let's Plays on each and every one of them. Now, I'm sure some people want to watch me do a Mega Man Let's Play, but I doubt there's a single person out there who wants to watch me do 8 Mega Man Let's Plays. And that would just be the regular Mega Man series. If you want to count Mega Man X, they had 6 of those. So we're looking at 14 games of Mega Man. I doubt people want to watch me do all of them. Maybe one from each series, sure. But I think that it would be much better served if I did some sort of highlights for those. Maybe reviews would work for that as well, but I think that it would be better if I did highlights because there is somewhat of a story to that, where there's a lot less of a story in the Bomberman franchise. So that's kind of the 2 things that I have been looking at for other options for the channel. Feel free to let me know what you guys think about those kinds of things. If you actually like a format similar to this, a long video where I just talk about whatever is on my mind, this is a podcast. So let me know if you guys like this as well. Those are the things that I have been thinking about doing for the channel for quite some time. I'm actually thinking about doing those a lot more, and I'm a little bit more serious about that kind of stuff now than I was before. It would be something I feel to help bring something different to the channel, as opposed to the random series and the drunkenly playing series, which was kind of something that I did because I didn't know what else to do, and I wanted something that wasn't going to be a full Let's Play, but I still wanted to do some gaming videos on it. And I think that structuring them into reviews and Let's Play highlights works a lot better than what I've been doing for the random and the drunken. Although the drunken I'm still a fan of, like I said before. Feel free to check those out. I think some of them have been quite good. Maybe not the League of Legends, because I was pretty bad at League of Legends. Even I'm facepalming at some of the things that I did now. That was bad. But like I said, getting better at League. Getting better. Moved on from Ash as well. But there's one more thing that I did want to talk about before I'm done here. And I realize that I've been going for a long time. We'll probably stretch this to the full hour, just to let you know. But you probably know better than I do. One thing that I want to talk about before I go is YouTube as a whole. As I have mentioned, I do make money off the channel. It is not enough to support the channel itself, let alone give me enough money to be able to retire from what other jobs I have. I do need to continue having those jobs to support my channel, because I would be losing money if this was my only source of income. It just would not work. I'm not the only person to make money on YouTube. Obviously, some people do this full time. And now that I'm starting to think about going into the review side of gaming videos, I should address one thing that is happening and is quite controversial. There's a couple things that are going on. I won't name names or anything like that. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about, but there has been a lot of publicity lately on the fact that reviewers get paid to play certain games and to upload certain videos from the developers themselves. So usually smaller companies, usually it's the indie companies that are doing this, they will email the Let's Player or email the reviewer and say, I will give you a certain amount of money if you play my game on your channel. And if you play your game on my channel, then more people will find out about it and want to download it. This has been going on for a while. I personally have not received any of these emails. I have heard, though, that they would pay like a standard rate of $2,000 for one video. I'll tell you right now, I'm not sure if I would be able to turn that down. $2,000 for a single video, that's a lot of money. That is too much money. But there are people out there that make so much money on YouTube that $2,000 for one video isn't a big deal for them. For me, it would be a big deal. And as I go forward into reviews, kind of my reputation is all that I have. So I want to make it clear now, if I were to go into reviews, I would not let developers influence my review. I'm not saying that if they sent me an email saying, here's $2,000, play my game, that I wouldn't play their game. I might. I probably would. But if they said, play my game and give it a good review and don't mention anything that's bad in it, then I would turn it down. That's not something that I'm willing to do. I have more integrity than that, I hope. Like I said, I have never gotten an email like that. I have gotten an email from a developer asking me to play the game, but all they sent me was a free copy of the game. Just here's a download link, play my game. I never ended up doing it. I ended up giving that link away to somebody that wanted it. It did not look like a game that interested me that much, even though it was a turn-based RPG. I just took a couple looks at it and went, that does not look good. Anybody want this? And I did finally find somebody that did want it. But that is something that is going on YouTube, and it's becoming more and more institutionalized. It's becoming more standard that Let's Players are now incentivized to play certain games. And like I said, this has been going on for a while, but now it's becoming more and more apparent. It's becoming something that is standard. It's what these people do. It's what you expect from them. And I want you guys to know, as I continue to get bigger slowly, ever so slowly, that I will not let any sort of money or influence from any company change anything about me. I will not endorse a product that I don't like. I think Buttercrust and me did a video in Diablo 3 where I jokingly said, Taco Bell, give me money and I'll endorse you. That's not something that I would actually do. That was a joke. And I regret saying it, but I thought it was funny at the time, and I still think it's funny the way that I said it. I set up the joke, but it's not something that I would do. I would only endorse things that I actually do like, and even then, I wouldn't wholeheartedly endorse something as much as say, hey, whatever, Netflix is sponsoring me. Here's a link. That's the way that I would do it. I'd make it very obvious. And if I did get an email with somebody asking me to do their game with a dollar amount attached to it, I would be honest. They paid me to make this video. And I would make that explicit somehow. As if they forbade that in their little contract, I wouldn't sign the contract. I want to be as open and honest with you guys as I can be. Like I said, I've never gotten paid to do any kind of game. I can't imagine who would pay me to do Escape from Monkey Island these days. You know what I mean? I'm usually doing older games. Nobody's really willing to give money for me to play their game. Most of that stuff is the newer stuff. And a lot of times it has been obvious. I know Brothers, the game Brothers that's on Steam now, it's a decent game. It's probably a good game. I've never played it. But I know that they went around to a lot of YouTubers and paid people to play that game. I think that it's also true for Papers, Please. I think I've heard that. But I haven't actually seen proof of that. It's just kind of rumors. I know for a fact that Brothers did it, though. So it has been something that's going on. I don't do that at all. And I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. So that's that part. The other thing is something that I have talked about on my channel before, but I do want to talk about it in detail now. I've never signed a contract, so I am not obliged to say crap about anything or hide crap from anything. So there's one thing that I did want to talk about, and that is multi-channel networks. Now that's a fancy name that I'm sure some of you don't recognize. That is something that has been on YouTube since before I started. A multi-channel network is a group of channels that are affiliated with each other that kind of form a unilateral company, usually. You're familiar with them, I'm sure you are. Companies like Machinima, Polaris, RPM, Fullscreen, TGN. I know so many of them. And I know them because they've all emailed me asking me to join them. I have well, actually, Machinima never emailed me. I actually reached out to them to find out if they offered a better contract. But I have gotten contracts from these people in the past. And I've refused to sign them. I just flat out told them, no, this is absolutely ridiculous. These people are supposed to advertise my channel. And as a result, they have forced me to look at my channel like a business for the purpose of these contracts. Like I've said many times already this video, I don't look at my channel like a business normally. But when it comes to these contracts, I absolutely have to because of the way that they're designed. Now, the way that they are designed, they will advertise my channel and in result, take a cut of my channel's earnings. It makes no sense to me. Because how a multi-channel network is supposed to work, like Machinima should work, is that I make videos for their channel and then I make a cut of my own video on their channel. Meanwhile, I tell my viewers, hey, go check out Machinima. I'm on Machinima, right? Don't check out Machinima. I'm not on Machinima, but you know what I mean. If I made videos for them, it would help them out, and then I would reach their audience and possibly bring them over to my channel. That's the way that I feel that a multi-channel network should work. That is not how it works at all. Not at all. Based on the contract that Machinima sent me, it was god-awful. I don't know who signs these contracts. Like I said, I didn't sign the contract, so I can tell you whatever the hell is in it. I won't go over all the numbers with you, but the main number, and this was across the board, this was not just one company. I'll stop mentioning company names now, but I received 4 contracts in total from pretty much the biggest four multi-channel networks out there. Pretty much. I don't think it is exactly the top 4 anymore, but at any given point they were in the top 4. All 4 of them said the same thing. They will advertise my channel. That's all they guaranteed, is some vague sense of advertising. And in return, they would want 40% of my channel's earnings. 40 of what my channel is doing. And when I start questioning that, I go, what kind of advertising are you doing for my channel to earn 40% of my channel's earnings? They would just kind of hem-haw around it, but finally I did get an answer from one person, one poor person who ended up talking to me when I'm pissed off. When I'm pissed off, don't argue with me. I will make you feel bad about yourself. He finally answered me, and he told me that what they would do is they would link me on other people's channels inside the network. Now, for those of you that have gone around my channel for whatever reason, you probably noticed that I have recommended channels. I think I have 5 of them right now. And to be honest, most of them aren't Let's Players, but whatever. We're moving on from that. Those are just the people that I like right now that I feel aren't getting enough attention. So if you haven't checked them out already, I think they do great work when they do upload. Usually it's not very often these days. I should probably change it around again. But those guys aren't getting the attention that I feel that they deserve. So that's why I link to them. But that's pretty much what they would do. They would go on other channels about my size. I have 1,300 and something, I didn't check today, subscribers. They would go to 5 other channels with 1,300 and something subscribers and put a link to my channel on it. And for that, they would get 40% of my channel's earnings. On top of that, they would get control of my channel. Now, everybody that I talked to denied that. They would say, oh no, you keep creative control of your channel, we just take ownership of it. And I go, same thing. You guys get to control how my channel operates. They would take my recommended channels that I have right now, delete them, and link other people in their network. Probably all 5 of which I had never seen in my life, and I have no idea whether or not they're good. On top of that, they would control the advertising on my channel. They would actually get the check from Google that I get now. That would be sent to them, and they would send me my cut out of that, even though the majority of the money is supposed to go to me, right? I get the 60, they get the 40. But on top of that, they would also take away my ability to track how much money I am making on my channel. So in essence, they are taking a cut of my money, and I have to trust that it's the right amount because all the numbers that I'm getting will be from them. So at the end of the day, this sounds like a terrible contract for me. Absolutely terrible. There is no reason for me to sign up for that kind of nonsense. Yet people do. And I get an email probably around once a month with some private message from some recruiter asking me to sign up for their network. And I usually just answer, are you going to give me a better deal than a 60-40 split with a box for boxing? Which is the technical term for what they're doing, or at least the nickname for what they're doing. Nobody has said yes. Not a single person. Actually, no. One network did say, I understand why you would think that would be a bad deal. So I'm willing to offer you 70-30. We'll take 10% less of your money for the same one-time work that we're doing. Could you imagine that? That's ridiculous. Could you imagine if I walked into a restaurant and I said, I want to advertise your restaurant. And they said, okay, how much is it going to cost? Okay, what I want is I want you to turn over the cash register to me. And I will take my cut out of it and then leave you your cut in the cash register. And you're not allowed to see how much money is going into the cash register. I will pick up all the checks from all the tables. And then I will just leave you your cut at the end of the day. They would kick you out. They would probably have me arrested thinking that I was in a gang or something. Yet this is somehow the standard for YouTube. And if for whatever reason they did not kick me out of that restaurant, and they asked me, well, what are you doing to advertise my restaurant in order to earn this much of my money? I would just answer, I'm going to go to other restaurants and I'm going to put an ad to your restaurant on their menu. That's what they're doing. Who takes that deal? Apparently tens of thousands of people, tens of thousands, take that deal. To me, that is mind-boggling. And that is the reason that I do not sign up for any multi-channel network. None of them have given me a deal that seems worthwhile at all. And I've done the math. If you take 30% of my money over the course of a year, you pretty much need to double my channel's earnings by the end of the year, or it's not worthwhile. I'm actually losing money. And do you know what they told me their standard growth rate was for the length of the contract for that 1 year, where I need to double how much I'm earning? They said it was 30%. 30% growth. Absolutely ridiculous. At that rate, I might as well just give them 20% of my money now and call it a day, because that's how it works out. I do the math on this kind of stuff. I don't let people push me around with pressure. And that's what they all tried to do. They all tried to force me into this contract, 60-40. But at 70-30, where they take 30% of my channel's earnings, they need to double my channel's earnings by the end of the year. And they're not doing that. They don't even claim to do that. And everybody that I know that is involved with these networks always says it was a bad idea. I have not seen a single person to say that it was a good idea. I am so glad that I signed up with this network. I made so much more out of it than I gave them in terms of the contract. It was just so bad. I don't understand why people do that. All right, I think that is long enough for this update video. I got a lot of things off my chest. I thank each and every one of you that did stick around the whole time. If you guys liked this kind of format of stuff and you want to hear me do kind of news and mostly nerd news, you know, anything new when it comes to movies or video games, I'll try to keep up. Ask me to do podcasts, because that's pretty much what this would be. As of right now, though, I don't think that there is enough of a group of people, enough of an audience to support a podcast. But if this is something that you enjoyed, feel free to let me know, and maybe it's something I can do in the future. But for now, really, the two things that I wanted to ask you guys this time was whether or not you wanted reviews or Let's Play highlights. Those are pretty much the things that I'm looking at in the future. Like I said, I have so many games that I want to do. I have so many games here piled up. Speaking of which, as a bonus, because I forgot to mention it before, as a bonus for everybody that stuck around this far, I want to mention a couple things. I have mentioned before that I did purchase a Wii. I have been playing Xenoblade. I do plan on doing a Let's Play of Xenoblade after Xenosaga 3. When we do eventually get to the end of that, I am looking forward to that. I'm not entirely sure how I would do a Xenoblade Let's Play at this point, because, well, for those of you that have played it, the Affinity Quests, how the hell am I going to do that? For those of you that haven't played it before, I'm about 40 hours in the game in terms of gameplay that I've actually put into it. I'm about 20 to 40, like 30 to 40 hours now. I'm probably about 5 hours into the actual story. The rest has been side quests. How the hell am I going to do that? That's something that I need to figure out eventually. But the big news now is that I picked up a PlayStation 3. And that's something that I have not had. This is the most modern console that I have, if memory serves me correctly. Wii and PS3 are in the same generation, but I think the PlayStation 3 came out later. Anyway, I have a PS3 now. I have some really good games on it. I picked up a great deal on eBay for like $200. I got the PlayStation 3, 2 controllers for it, a PlayStation 2 controller, and a motion controller, plus 10 games. One of which being a PlayStation 2 game, the other 9 being PlayStation 3 games, only one of which I don't really care about, and that's like Sports Champions. The other ones I really do care about. The PlayStation 2 game, by the way, Persona 4. So I do have Persona 4 now. The PlayStation 3 games were Ni no Kuni, Dragon Crown, Persona 4 Arena, Bayonetta. I can't remember some of the other ones off the top of my head, but I did end up picking up Final Fantasy 13 as well. None of the sequels just yet, but I'm excited. We will be doing PlayStation 3 games eventually. For now, I'm trying to get through PlayStation 2 games. I would like to get the games done on an emulator, the PlayStation 2 games, if possible. I don't know how many of them can be done on the emulator. The emulator doesn't work as much as people say it does. Might just be my computer. My computer is starting to get a little old now, and I might need to purchase a new one. But, you know, Xenosaga works at half speed. I tried a baseball game. It's glitchy as all hell. But I think, I know Dark Cloud works. And I am looking forward to doing Dark Cloud at some point. That's a launch title. That was like my test, like, can any game work on it? Dark Cloud does. But the one I'm really wanting to get done on the emulator is Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. And for those of you that play the game, you know absolutely why I want to do those on the emulator and why I need save states to get some of this stuff done. Oh dear God, some of that stuff is insane, and I need the emulator for that. So that's pretty much it. That's all that I wanted to talk about. To my knowledge, I'm sure in about a half hour I'll be upset that I didn't mention something. But those are the main things I want to talk about. Things that have been going on the channel. Things that will be going on in the future. Let me know if you guys are interested in reviews from me. Once again, they will be scripted. I have never scripted anything else on the channel before. Not even this. I don't even have notes in front of me for this, which is why I rambled on for a bit. But if you do want to see reviews from me in the future, once again, they'll be kind of slow, probably around one a month. And Let's Play highlights. With the Let's Play highlights, I would most likely record the entire game first and then condense it to highlights. So even though it wouldn't be aired all that often, it would be in batches where I would just do the entire Let's Play at once, and probably, 4 videos and then a break for a couple weeks and then 4 videos, something like that. So if those things are things that you are interested in, let me know. Once again, I do take all suggestions and I do read all comments, private messages. Feel free to add me on Steam, Skype, League of Legends, Battle.net, anything else you can think of. I don't have a PSN account just yet. I haven't hooked it up enough to figure that out, but I will at some point, and all of them have the same name. Every single one. I'm the only one that goes by ballerscuba, except for League. I have to go with ballerscuba 1 on that. Everything else is just ballerscuba. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this incredibly lengthy video. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.